Mama Mia, the first lady was there. I'm so happy. I saw her seated there. I know it was cold. She was all in her, but I'm glad that she was able to watch how that ended. I don't know. Could she be the lady luck or something? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think I'll say this, Paul, that considering that thousands of fans got out of their seats and actually left at 3-1, the First Lady has got to be given credit for the fact that she stayed behind. Remember how angry she had been after the loss to Algeria, because she was there for that game.
She was very, very,
she was
very,
livid. She was livid
angry.
and disappointed.
She was livid.
So
she
you can
incensed.
imagine how at 3-1 down, having not been there for the wins against Guinea and Niger, how she was thinking, here we go again. How she must have been thinking, here we go again. So for her to stay and actually all the way, but thankfully for her, she's prayerful. I don't know, everybody was doing whatever they do.
I saw a tweet and she came with the Bible right there.
Yeah, she's prayerful. Okay. So for her to stay and then celebrate in that manner was quite credit to her. Also, what I'll say is
Mark, aren't you prayerful?
I am very prayerful. I'm very, but actually, Mark, that I was caught. I don't know who took the picture. I've been in prayer mode in Nambo.
Oh yes.
That infamous picture that has been going around. Yes, I am. But perhaps not as prayerful as the First Lady, famously. So the thing is, this is what I want to give her credit on two fronts. One is that as sports minister, she actually has been quite involved with this tournament. She's been hands-on and under the circumstances, if you like. She's the chairman of the LOC, and she's got a lot of delegated duties to Honorable Minister Peter Ogwang, but she has been holding meetings for months now, as far as this tournament is concerned. She's been aware of everything that's been going on. She called that infamous or famous meeting, if you like, after Algeria because of how livid she was, and she brought everybody. She made everybody accountable.
It was a very hot meeting.
Yeah, she made everybody accountable, and then she showed up again, and to support. That's you give her credit for that involvement, hands-on involvement as a sports minister, because she could have been hands-off and aloof. In the past, she hasn't been that involved, to be honest.
And Mark,
but no, that too. Mark, before I finish, the second bit about where I give her credit is that her previous appearances at Nambole had not come with that much luck. I think there were two, and both were losses. And so, because football fans and football fraternity, most sports fraternities are, but football more than most, is actually of a superstitious kind. Is that you see when a footballer is coming onto the pitch, if they're used to walking out last, they will not allow to walk out second last when they're marching in. There are those who hop on one leg. There are those who make the cross sign of the cross. Everybody is superstitious. Which boot do you put on first? Is it left or right? So, and then that carries not just from players, but onto the fans and everybody. So because other political leaders in this country before her had actually come with more luck. For example, Honorable Amama Mbabazi, almost all the time he showed up at Nambole, Uganda won. The Honorable Sekandi, almost every time he showed up, Uganda won. Yes. So it hadn't happened for the First Lady that way. So perhaps one or two superstitious minds might have thought, and actually saw one or two tweets on social media where they're saying, please stay away. No, she didn't. She came. And like Mark was saying, there's not a victory before with any of our sports leaders or political leadership rather, which will be as significant ever as South Africa. And she was there for that. So give it to her. I do.
And Mark, I think we've got to start from this journey in its entirety, because for Nambole to be in the current state, in the state in which it is in today, I was on the board of Malaya National Stadium Nambole, and it is what it is because of her. You know, in terms of the refurbishment, the renovation, to make it conform to the CAF and FIFA standards. She was the one who basically ensured that that stadium was given the facelift it needed to qualify to host CHAN, because it's the only stadium that we have right now in the country to host a tournament of CHAN's magnitude. And you can see the stadium, I mean, Nambole looks brilliant.
Really, really good.
When you're there in flesh, it looks even better on TV, you know. And then that meeting, Mark, someone who has been going to State House for the better part of the last 25 years tells me she's never seen the first lady
Yeah.
that livid.
Yeah,
There are some tough words
attended
in the
other
aftermath.
meetings where
in
she
the-
has held, but I wasn't there for this one. So
in the aftermath of the Algeria game, I mean, there was some. She basically said some very, very,
strong words.
very,
yeah.
very strong words. in
She
the
really
direction of
read.
the team.
She read the entire establishment, the riot act,
It was the right act, and this meeting was attended by
and
just
she
about.
gave what you call ultimatums.
It was attended by many people.
Yeah,
it was attended by Coach Malebekwaso. He was there. It was attended
Yeah.
by many people in the federation, including the former president. It was attended by various members of the LOC. It was attended by even people who have been in the opposition in the federation, like Mujib Kasule. He was there as well. It was attended by even the head of state, the president. He came in and joined in midway. So I'm told, and then he
wasn't meant to be
he wasn't
there.
meant to be there, but then he
showed
came,
up when it was
he
going
showed up,
on, yeah.
and then he said, "I'm tired. Let me go and sleep." And then he gave his own views on the team. But it was a hot meeting, and I think there's been a reaction. I don't know if that reaction trickled down to the players, but
It
clearly,
They delivered.
it must have, because Molebekwaso, the FUFA president, Engineer Moses Magogo, came in with the coach, and the coach had to explain himself, and it wasn't easy coming up with the words to explain, to justify that loss, or to explain it away at a technical level. So it was whatever message he went back with to the dressing room.
actually, Mark,
It was
had to-
definitely
because of
Stick.
how poor we were against Nigeria,
Yes.
I am meant to understand that she asked whether this team is actually coached because we had been so poor against
exactly. Have
Nigeria.
you been preparing? She was asking her, have you guys trained? Did they have the resources to do so, and things like that? But also,
Right.
earlier, it reminds me, Mark, that earlier we talked about Joel Mutakwa, the goalkeeper. Now, while he's been chastited by several fans because of his capitulation against Algeria, that third goal is comical by all standards. He could have done better. And
The third goal against South Africa.
South Africa,
no,
yeah.
not Algeria.
No,
The
South
third
Africa,
goal
yeah.
against Algeria had no
Against-
chance. Yeah.
No, South Africa, yeah. And one of the things that has happened, of course, is that while it's been solid in other departments, the decisions in coming off the line have been bad.
Yes.
He wasn't punished for them before.
Yes.
Because there was one against Niger and another against Guinea where he
Yes.
wasn't punished. This time he was punished badly. It looked ugly on TV. But one of his, perhaps one of the things he's drawing strength from at this tournament is that in that meeting Mark talks about, when the president walked into the first lady's meeting with all the technical heads of Chan, of Locke, he actually only gave credit to Joel Mutakwa. I'm sure that got to him, because they said the only thing I saw there was the goalkeeper. If he wasn't there, you guys would have conceded 5 or 10 or something.
Apparently, Mark.
Well, I paraphrase, but he said something
apparently,
like that.
he said something. He said that for us in the military, said for me, I'm a military man.
Yes.
We have something called AOR.
Yeah.
Do these players understand AOR? And everyone was wondering what's everyone saying. It says, AOR is area of responsibility.
Yes. Which is why he gave Joel Mutakwa credit. Because
Yes.
remember, even in that
Yes,
game
for
against
him.
Algeria, despite conceding those goals,
Yeah.
there were situations in which he saved one-on-ones, for example. And then there were some long-range shots that he kept out from Sofiane Brazil and a few others. And he basically...
So he executed these areas. of
And he wasn't
responsibility.
here. He
Yeah.
wasn't to blame for any of the goals
Yeah.
in that particular game. Never mind the one against South Africa. So maybe even after his number one fan being the head of state, even after the rest were on his back, he was still drawing inspiration from that.
But Mark, for me,
But you were still telling us about the first lady.
the thing. I mean, ultimately, I think right now, as a country, the entire country right now is behind the national team.
Yeah.
From the head of state, the president, to the first lady, the minister of sports, the chairperson of the organizing committee. And for a long time, it was a problem for us because as sports people, there was a general perception that government doesn't care about
They didn't
sports,
care
they don't
that
care
much.
about national
Yeah.
team. But right
Prioritized
now,
other things
Other
That's been
things.
on
and didn't
for
think
long.
sport
I
was
didn't think
important
about
enough.
it,
Yes.
but right now, I mean, for me, when you have such a meeting being called by the Minister of Sports, who is the first lady, the chairperson of the LOC, at State House, for me, it's a very good thing. That, listen, she's concerned. She thinks that something must be done for our team to do a lot better, you know, and everyone is watching from the highest office in the land to the Omuntu 1C. And I think the players know it. the sports family does appreciate it, and I think it can only bode well for the future of not just the national team and or even football, but the entire sports fraternity.
Yeah, look,
Yes.
but the resources that the First Lady and the President have committed to sport in this period are unimaginable.
They are obscene. They're
Unfathomable,
obscene.
and we never thought this would ever happen.
Yeah.
The amount of money they ordered should be made available for the construction of both Hoima and Akibwa stadiums in Lira is phenomenal. And then they made money available for the training grounds to go with those stadiums, and for LOC to operate, and for Uganda to actually participate, because it involved also depositing up to $13 million in an escrow account for CAF before we were eligible to actually host. So they've actually committed resources in a way they've never
because
done.
to the average fan out there, it is one thing to understand that Uganda is hosting CHAN and AFCON.
Yes.
What goes behind the scenes in
know.
putting
It's
together?
amazing, yeah.
There's a lot of money. I'm talking about millions of
I
dollars.
mean, both of them could easily have said, look, we have other priorities.
Because you see, when you mention Hoima Stadium, people think that yes, AFCON 2027 there will be Hoima Stadium. There must be training grounds and various training grounds which can accommodate the teams which are going to be camped in Hoima, which will be in those facilities. There must be hotels, and all these things are in the pipeline and they're going to be constructed. So you cannot do all these things without the endorsement of government.